Hey! You are listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? Got to take care of a few things before we jump into this week's episode. First, our Ramping Isometrics for BJJ program. It is a 12-week program, all laid out for you. It's going to help you build strength and cardio in the fastest, safest, and most convenient way possible. This is how James and I have been training for the past year, and we love it. So we put this program together so you can just follow along, and we are certain you will see and feel the benefits that we do. It's only $15. Just go to grumpyguybjj.com, click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll find it. Next, R3. This is our K2 D3 supplement. It is a combination of those two vitamins, D3 and K2. These are two vitamins that James and I have been taking for a long time that really help us recover from hard training sessions. And for only $15 with free shipping, you get a whole month's supply. I was going to pull up some studies explaining the benefits of D3 and K2, but I'm not going to insult your intelligence and pretend to be a fucking scientist. I take it. It helps me recover. That's it. So for $15, check it out. And last but certainly not least, we have partnered up with Jiu-Jitsu.com. They have a ton of awesome BJJ instructionals, and they have hooked us up with a discount code for our listeners. It's Grumpy10. So what you got to do is you go to Jiu-Jitsu.com, which is DIGITSU.com. Find the instructionals you want, throw them in a shopping cart. In the little discount code box, you type in Grumpy10, which is just GRUMPY and the number 10. 10. That's it. No spaces. Boom. You get 10% off. You're up and running. They got a nice app you can download on your phone. That way you can take your instructionals right to the gym with you, watch the technique, drill it. It's a pretty sweet setup. So once again, DIGITSU.com. Discount code Grumpy10, GRUMPY10. Simple as that. To find all this stuff I just got done talking about, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com. Click the drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner. There, you'll subscribe to our newsletter for podcast updates. You'll find links for the Ramping Isos program, the R3 Recovery Supplement, and then under the Programs and Products tab, you'll find a link to Jiu-Jitsu.com. And let's be honest, if you guys can't figure out how to navigate a website by now, there's nothing I can do to help you. So quit fucking around, check it out, train hard, and let's get into this week's episode. And
Boo.
There we go.
Boo. I like boo better.
Here we go.
Here we are.
Hi.
Back again with the majority of the Wilson pack.
We got the crew. We got the dog puppy and the human puppy here.
We got Ajax, Aka, Rob, Dad, and me.
Yep. Back for another Grumpy Guy podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a Pokemon for our Pokemon update.
Yep.
Jax is like, what is going on over here? Oh,
Sniffing the
that's
microphone. That'll be some cool
really
audio.
Good.
If somebody's listening to us with the headphones on, they're going to hear that big dog sniff. In the car, you might not hear it, but if you got headphones on, you're going to hear that one.
That'll be a good one. All right. So who do we got?
A Boldor.
A Boldor. What does Boldor do?
He does headbutt and rock curl.
Ooh.
Sweet.
I like those. Those are two good attacks. Mm-hmm. Headbutts are underrated, as Mark Kerr demonstrated.
On the bottom of rock.
Mark Coleman.
On the
They
bottom of
They
rock
both were,
curl.
but that was definitely one of Coleman's go-tos.
Yeah.
They just get inside somebody's closed guard, not pass it, and just headbutt the heck out of them.
Shit out of them, yeah.
All right, sorry, buddy. We interrupted.
And on the bottom of rock curl it says, this attack's damage isn't affected by resistance.
Ooh, you can't resist it.
It does, but it does not have any resistance.
Mm.
It's a rock type. It has 110 hit points. It evolves from Raggenrua, I think.
Sure. Your guess is probably better than mine, to be honest with you.
Its weakness is grass type. It does 20 more damage. And it's uncommon. The thing says it explores caves in search of underground water. It is not comfortable with around water, so this Pokemon takes great care of its lapping hold on. Lapping it up. That doesn't make sense.
Lapping it up, that means drinking it up. Lapping it's like what dogs do with their tongue.
Mm.
It's not comfortable around water, so this Pokemon takes great care in lapping it up. Huh. So it sounds like he has to find underwater reservoirs where he feels very safe to slowly lap it up because he doesn't like water in general. But he's allergic. His thing is grass types. His weakness. Not surprising. When you think of
a little
rock,
contradictory.
a boulder, yeah, he's afraid of water, but his weakness is grass types, and he's a rock type. I would think the water would be his weakness.
Yeah,
but grass types, if it's like, but grass types are wet like leaves.
That's true. I can see that there's some moisture involved with grass types, but usually water is what takes out rocks, man. Just all these canyons and stuff around here, these are all washed out by water over eons. Or at least that's what the scientists tell us. According to the Bible, God made it. What are you doing, man? Why would you do that? Okay, well, that's not all right. If you're going to be in here, you can't do stuff like that, all right?
Okay.
So you don't need to mess with the computer for any reason. All right? Okay. So, anyways, anything else? What else did you do? You got 2 things this week, or did 2 things. Or you did 1 thing and got 1 thing. What'd you do? You learned how to...
Come on, man. You show me the video.
Swim.
Yeah.
I learned how to swim.
Learn how
Heck
to swim.
yeah, man.
And I got to watch called a Fitbit.
Yep. You did. You got a Fitbit Ace 2 for kids. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
It can set an alarm and a countdown timer. So like last night we said you got to be home, 7:30 you need to come home. And so he set the alarm on it himself and showed up a little after 7:30.
That's pretty sweet.
It was pretty sweet. So, and he's kicking all our butts in the step challenge.
That does not surprise me.
Well, he goes over to his friend's house and jumps on trampolines, and it's like, I think he gets a step for
That
every
racks him
jump.
up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can rack up some jumps pretty quickly when you're...
It's funny how many trampolines I've been delivering during this pandemic.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I always remember that Simpsons where he got the free one from, who did he get it from? Krusty?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he took it home and everyone got hurt on it. And then he tried to take it back to Krusty and say he didn't want any more. And he shows up and Krusty just got a shotgun. He's like, keep on driving. He's like, that's why I gave it away in the first place, motherfucker. Now you know.
Now you know.
But they're totally different now. Like when we were kids, dude, those things were dangerous. Like they didn't have... Now they've got like netting around them, and they don't have any of the metal bars and the holes exposed. No way, dude.
I guess I haven't seen... I mean, I've delivered quite a few, but I don't pay attention to the packaging.
No,
I just assume a trampoline's a trampoline.
No.
It's got a frame with a bunch of springs and a canvas.
No, they're different safety things
And
now, which is good. Because I wouldn't want him just like... The way that they jump, like they go for it.
Dude, the move is...
People would get fucked up on those things.
Like, if I was in a perfect world, if I was to put one in for a kid or something, if I had the means and the yard space, is to dig a hole and sink it down in. You see a few houses like that?
Yeah.
Where they sink it down in so that the trampoline is pretty much ground level.
Yeah. I mean, nets are good, though. They keep you from hitting the ground, period. I mean, they're obviously not meant for you to mosh pit in, I don't think. So if you got kids that are trying to like kill each other, the ground level would probably still be a good idea.
Yeah, we played some interesting games. I won't discuss them right now on the trampoline.
Zeke practices his front flips.
Yeah.
You getting good at them?
Yeah, I can. Sometimes I actually front flip and then land it like this.
Nice. That's the goal, to flip and land on the feet.
Yeah, I'm like...
He was trying to do his first couple dive attempts were front flips off of the diving board. And eventually he got it.
I was just trying to do dives.
I know, but when he over-rotated a little bit, probably from your trampoline experience. But you got it figured out there at the end. You're doing some good dives and some good cannonballs.
I'm still super good at front flips on the trampoline, but I can do dives really good too.
Nice.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Cool.
Bye, I guess.
Yeah. Why you need to come back? You have your spot, man. You're not supposed to leave it. You seem to be getting bored, so. Yep. We'll talk to you here in a little bit.
Bye.
All right, buddy. Stop.
All right, dude.
Okay. A fly.
I know we need the fly swatter in here.
We do. All right.
Holler at Z.
Okay. Hey, Z. Bring me the fly swatter. Thank you. Swatter. We fed those bugs today, man. We don't need to feed them again. I just need to kill this fly. Usually I try to catch the flies because it's way more satisfying to feed them to manatee or
I see that. Yeah. This one just needs to die.
Okay, man. Thank you. Oh, man.
Sweet.
Yeah. Z needs to get back into school. He needs some kid interaction. He's an interesting...
He's fired. He's pretty feisty today.
Dude, he's been feisty for a while now. Yeah, it's like, it's just weird, man. They all want to find out where the boundaries are. And it's like, why? Like, why do you want to see how far, like...
What you can get away with.
Yeah, what you can get away with. But I used to do it too, so...
Hey, we all did.
I keep that in mind. So...
That's tough. It's not an easy thing, man. I see little snippets into the Wilson world here and there. And
dude, yeah. The thing with the puzzle this morning was funny. I'm like, come over, I'm like, what are you doing? What is this? Is like, what? Like, what is going on?
I tried to direct it. It was too late.
Yeah, I mean...
He started moving them. I'm like, hey, man, you shouldn't set that there. And here
his hubris is gets him. He knows what to do. Like, that was actually my instructions to him going into the swim class. Because if there was one way he was going to mess it up, was going to walk in there going, I know what to do. I know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, having any of that. And he usually doesn't. It's you know, that there is something to having someone besides you teach your kids something. Because they do have a different attitude. As maddening as that is. But, so I told him, I was like, man, just make sure you go in. And you're just like, hey, you listen to the instructor and you do what he says. And everything will be good. And, yeah, he did a real good job with that. But that's when he gets himself in trouble, when he's pretty darn sure he knows what's going on. And then... That's
a mosquito. We got a mosquito and a fly torturing us.
Fly, man. Get that bad boy. Yeah! Die, motherfucker. Pinch you just to finish you off. So, but... Anyways, man. Killing bugs. Yeah, we gotta hunt down bugs for those... Because I got a praying mantis now and a jumping spider to feed. So.
And we were watching the jumping spider try to get that fly this morning. That was pretty cool. I've never seen that firsthand.
Oh, no?
No. I mean, I've never captured a spider.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why we cut that damn thing,
That's
dude.
pretty cool. That's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah.
He didn't quite get it.
He will.
That was, dude, he's quick.
Yeah.
And he jumps just like his name entails.
Yeah. They're little hunters,
her name,
man. Yeah. They're ruthless little hunters. And they'll, just fucking pounce on whatever and then drag it back to the nest and then drop it. That's why all the carcasses are right there. Because he catches it or she catches it and then drags it back and then drops them. There's a little drop hole out of the bottom of the web house that she built. So nature's pretty interesting,
brutal,
man.
Dude.
Fuck yeah.
Nature's very brutal.
Yeah, I told you about that mantis, man, getting that cricket. Like, that was ruthless. He just cut his legs off and started eating them from the butt first, and the cricket's just like, rah, rah, rah. It's like, dude, come back and just the head's left.
Start.
Yeah, then I put another cricket in there, and the thing's running around the cage and comes across the other cricket head. And, I don't know if it means anything to it or not, but you got to figure, like, there's got to be some sense of this can't be good for me.
This can't be good. Like, here's my buddy Jack, and all I see is his head.
Saw him yesterday.
And he had a lot more than a head.
Yeah, it's just a head.
What happened? Is this, you wonder, can bugs reason that out? Like, can they sense that, like, I don't think they can reason it out, but you got to wonder if that implies doom to them. Like, my buddy got jacked. I need to get out of here.
Yeah, do they realize?
Like,
do they have, like,
you wonder if they're able to. I bet you would have to reason that, just from a survival standpoint, that they would see that and be like, okay,
there has to be some signal that this isn't the place to be.
This isn't the place to be.
Yeah.
You would think.
I think.
Just from a survival
Yeah.
thing.
Got to be something that
Who
triggers
knows?
that. But yeah. Anyways, then he tried to hide, and the mantis got him anyways. So
There's not a lot of hiding places in that little.
I know.
Net
I need to get a
cage
bigger
thing.
one just for the mantis. It's getting so big. But yeah, dude, watching praying mantises eat, that is. I remember as a kid, I caught one or two, and watching those things eat grasshoppers and crickets. Just like, this is gnarly, dude. The little mouth is just moving, and the fucking bug is disappearing into it. It's like, whoa.
Those things are so weird. They're like aliens. Looking at
Yeah.
them, like how. Because you look at it, it doesn't look like it would be a robust, tough insect. You know what I mean? It
No,
looks
not
like,
particularly.
No, you just look at it and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that thing probably eats grass. You know what I mean? It's probably just cruising around eating grass. It gets stepped on by something, and that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Oh no, that thing is a predator. Dude.
Yes.
That thing is slaying shit. I've seen videos of those things jacking hummingbirds.
Really?
Yeah.
Some of the big ones, huh?
Big ones, yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And those things they'll go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they got those two big giant claws, or your snapper things, whatever you want to call them, on the front. Those things they have one purpose in life. There's no other reason.
Kill
You
and
got
eat.
two big giant claws that pull directly to your carnivorous mouth.
Kill and eat, buddy.
Like, yeah.
You got to appreciate the simplicity of a life like that.
You do. You do. Although, I've thought, like, man, if I had released this praying mantis out, like, I've got it in a cage, on some level, things, meant for bigger things in a cage. But the odds are that thing would have gotten jacked by now. Like,
Oh yeah, I can't imagine their lifespan is very long.
The
out
big
there.
ones are it's a small percentage. They're
Right.
like the black belts. It's just like fucking jiu-jitsu, man. There's a giant feeder system of white belts at the bottom. Few people make it to black belt, and they're the ones you see. You don't realize what a small percentage of the population they represent. But I know. Same with spiders, man. Sometimes you see some big ass spiders, and I'm just like, I've had a black widow or two that, I mean, I know one in particular, like I caught and like went and let go because the thing was so fucking big. I was like, but it was like respect, you know?
Like, you've
man,
survived this long. I'm not
dude, it'd be so stupid for me to like
step on it.
especially if I can, right? If I have to, like I'm not gonna put my kid or somebody at risk over it. But if I can, like, that thing deserves at least a fighting chance out in nature versus like me going, no, there's the end of your fucking run, buddy. So, or maybe that would have been the merciful thing to do. Maybe fucking 5 minutes later, birds eating them and just going like,
You never know. Not with nature.
dope, man. So
this essential grappler hat
Yes!
that you're sporting.
yes. Have you heard of this?
No, I have not.
I hadn't heard of it either. They showed up in my BJJ box.
It's a very like dad-esque hat.
That is what it is. It's a dad hat,
Okay.
for sure. For
Yep.
sure, it's even said it.
Oh, did it?
It's a dad
That's
hat.
the style.
I didn't realize a dad hat was a style.
Well, it makes perfect sense because when you put that on, you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's like a dad hat.
Yeah,
Might as well slap on some New Balances. Spend the day at Bed Bath & Beyond.
I can. Yeah, I'm toting my wife's purse. Anyways. But yeah, so this one though has essential grappler on it, and essential is in quotation marks. I'm not sure exactly why, but Keely says she gets it, but I figure like the message is like you're supposed to be an essential grappler because the whole thing is like, oh, only essential businesses and essential this and essential that, and we've talked about several times like, man, jiu-jitsu's in this weird spot. Like we are on the fucking way outside looking in on all this shit and trying to be like, hey, what we do is important too for people and shit. And so apparently this essential grappler thing is something like a few people
That is literally the first
taken up.
I've ever seen of it, coming over your house and seeing you wearing that stupid
Yeah,
hat.
me too. That's why I wear it around, because I like to expose people to it and be like, hey, are you aware of the essential grappler movement? So most people aren't, which tells me that just more and more people are not paying attention to social media shit.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's
There's nothing
not-
positive to be had from it.
It's I've preached this almost since we've been started this stupid podcast, and how ridiculous I think social media is. Oh,
No, I'm just looking to see. I thought I heard a
someone
dog.
trying to get in here.
I thought it was a dog. Yeah.
What was it? Oh, so yes, But now, more than ever, man, just like media as a whole, and then social media, it's just so, dude, it's so divisive and ridiculous right now. And our world is in a weird place, man.
Yeah.
Hey, none of us can predict where it's going to go, what's going to happen. Like, I don't know why, but we've gone through some strange times before, but shit's really fucking squirrely right now.
It is, man. Yeah, it is.
And so
and I think I don't know what the answer with social media and the online thing is, but it is. It's influencing things in a non-positive direction. Mm-hmm. It'd be hard to find. Like, I don't know who says that it isn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's the weird thing. Like,
who says that it isn't what?
That it isn't influencing things in a non-positive direction. Like, who says, like, oh no, this is positive. This is fucking awesome. Like, what's going on in social media is like, awesome. Like,
probably Mark Zuckerberg and...
Well, even they, though, because on some level, like, they have, it's the stories of they have, like just regular flip phones and stuff. Like they even take measures to protect themselves from, because they understand, like,
the trappings of it,
this shit is designed to do a certain thing. And so I have to take steps to make sure it doesn't do that to me, which is, again, that's like Congress saying, oh, we're going to pass Obamacare, but we don't have to be fucking under it. It's like, wait a minute, what, motherfucker? If you can't, anyways. It's, so, like, I know they're out there, but I don't talk to them. I don't know them. Like, the people that I listen to, mainly listen to, like, Joe Rogan and fucking Matt Byrne podcasts and, a few others here and there. But, like, I haven't heard anyone who's like, oh no, you look at society today and it's fucking awesome. And it's all thanks to social media. Like, I don't know what these people are talking about. So, like, it's this weird thing. It's like, everyone knows that the emperor is naked, but everyone just keeps fucking going along with it because they don't want to be the one who's left out, because everyone is still on it. You know what I mean? It's this weird thing where, like, it's become this part of our fabric of our social life and interacting with people, even though we know it's fucking super toxic. Everyone knows it's super toxic, but everyone's afraid to pull away from it because, like,
the fear of missing out.
The fear of missing out. And like, you are outside of things because, like the essential grappler thing. It's like, if you're not online, you're not going to know what that is. And so if you live in an area where everyone else is like, oh yeah, essential grappler, man, it's a fucking thing. And you're like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Like, what are you talking about? Like, there's a feeling, there's a weird psychology that keeps us doing things that aren't necessarily good for us because they
got their claws into us and just...
Yeah, but they keep us in the tribe. They keep us in the fucking feeling like we're part of the group. And so there's this weird thing, like, the group is just all accepted that we're going to feel this way. And it's weird. Like, that's what's the weird thing to me. Like, everyone knows this is negative, but we've all just kind of accepted on some weird level that we're just going to kind of accept it and this is just the way things are. And because I'm not going to stop doing it, and my neighbor, he's not going to stop doing it, and the reason he's not going to stop doing it is because this other guy's not going to stop doing it, and he has an advantage. Whether it's business and you're advertising on it, or it's, keeping up to date on shit, whatever it is, there is some small advantage. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, how do you parse out the good stuff and get rid of the bad stuff? Because right now it's like the bad stuff is like 90-95%, and it's like the fucking ratio is so off.
Yeah, though, and I mean, again, I don't fuck with it, obviously, and the only positive I can see from it, I mean, I could stretch and probably come up with some other positives, but the only benefit or positive I can see from it is from a business standpoint. Like yourself, you run an online business, so you're going to use it. It's a tool you're going to use.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense. But if you take that out of it, like, what the fuck's it for?
Yeah. On some level, like, Keela is one of the weird exceptions. Like, she actually represents what this stuff was supposed to do. Because she's from Hawaii. Like, she has a lot of close friends there. She has family there. And so she is able to keep up with them through social media. Mm-hmm. And so, like, for me, it's like she uses it and she's on it, and more than like what I would say would be good if you were just using it as normal. But like, because she does have this connection and is using it like that. So, like I said, there is that, and for some people, again, like that is a legitimate thing. But for most people, that's not it. You know, like
a lot of people will use that as the excuse. And they spend 5% of their time staying connected with loved ones, and the other 95% of the time just filling their brain with junk.
I'd say like 99 to 1, man.
Yeah, you're probably
right. Honestly, I think that it's the junk and the arguing and like all the other stuff.
Dude, speaking of that, man, we're going down this weird like political social rabbit hole. So because media itself, not even social media, but media, the news, it's really dividing our country right now, man.
Yeah.
It's getting worse and worse. And dude, like I don't see where it's going. I don't know where it's gonna go. But yeah, man. I start thinking about it. I get overwhelmed, just like because it's so negative. And I seen they passed a bill in I think it was North Carolina or South Carolina. Some sort of reparations checks. Dude.
Well, it's not reparations checks. I don't think so.
I didn't.
From what I understand, it's basically what they are calling investment in these poorer areas.
Okay.
Reparations.
Okay, so they're not actually handing out checks.
No, they're not handing out checks.
Because that's where I was going. I got concerned because this is the point I was trying to make is that the media is dividing us, man, and they're labeling everything as racist, like everything.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, we don't see it around here. We don't hang out with any racist people. You know what I mean? So like, but you see it just
maybe
from this.
Everyone's racist, and so we don't realize I'm just fucking.
Yeah. But according to like these new standards, that we are all.
Yeah, that's why we don't see it. Is because we're all so part racist. Of the fucking problem.
But so the country's kind of getting divided, anyways. And then if they were to start handing out reparations checks. That's gonna divide. You're gonna take some, middle-aged white blue-collar dude that never really, considered himself racist, but he's just doing his own thing. But then he starts looking at things like, wait a second, man, I'm out here struggling to make my ends meet and do my thing, and all of a sudden all these other people are getting checks.
Yeah,
that's gonna push people. That's gonna divide the country even more if they start doing shit like that.
No, I know.
And so I really hope, because I put that into the category to like the government will do a lot of things with good intentions.
Yeah,
and they don't look long term. It's always these short term answers, and they don't look at the secondary and tertiary effects of what it's gonna do. And if they start doing that, it's going to divide it even more.
Yeah,
no. It's like, fuck, dude. So,
I feel like, though, even just calling it that makes it divisive.
It is.
Because hey, man, like, I don't know, like, I see what they're saying, like, because there is that argument. I, in general, agree with it, that you have these areas that are, it's poverty, right? It's not just color, but the thing is, you have a lot of people in that area that are, minority or black or whatever. So it comes down on those lines as well. But yeah, you have these areas, and they're, for whatever reason, have been systematically or whatever just overlooked, and it's hard to, like, how do you get that out, right? You don't need to invest everything equally. Like, you've got an area of town that's like doing really well and has a bunch of fucking money and all this stuff, and it's like, well, why do we need to invest as much money there as we do here, right? Like, we need to invest money more where it's needed. And it's like, it's I hate to say it, like, Joe Rogan's got a good point. It's like, if you really want to make America great,
less losers.
Less losers, man. And so how do you create less losers? And like, that mindset and that philosophy starts to lead you towards some of these answers, right? And less losers is not necessarily the same thing as being fair, like, or equal. You know what I mean? And that's where it gets tough, because people see, like, well, why is this area of town getting more, attention? And because that's not equal. We've talked about it with the homeless problem. Like, if they actually spent the money on the people that actually needed it, stopped handing it out equally, you'd have less people. You do way more for the homeless problem. than you do with the way it is now, where you have people who are taking advantage of it on one end, and then you have people who can't actually get the degree of help that they need on the other, and all in the name of fucking fairness, right? And so you like, that's where, like, we have to have a conversation as a country or whatever, and say, like, look, we're too fucking focused on this fair thing, and it's not even fair, right? Because why is that person, just playing like devil's advocate here, but why is that person going to get upset because they send out reparations checks, but he's not going to get as upset because they're sending checks to bail out fucking banks and hedge funds and all these things? It's the same shit. You're taking their money and you are giving it to someone else because you have deemed them needy of it. And so, like, that is where, does government even need to do that in the first place, right? Like, there's a fucking conversation that needs to be had. And so, but anyways, like, but calling it reparations creates this divisiveness. Yep. Instead of just saying, like, look, man, we're going to invest in our less fortunate areas and bring them up because we recognize, whatever. But, like, as soon as you put the word reparations on it,
it's a whole different view.
Yes, there's an acknowledgement of, like, racism and slavery and all of these things that's like, man, what? I mean, even if it's 1% true, like, what positivity does it bring to have that there, right? It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't at all.
It does way more damage than it does good. A lot of these ideas were discussed. Did you listen to Ben Shapiro?
Yes, Joe Rogan? I did, man.
I really liked a lot about what he said. And it's funny, it's almost like he couldn't get Joe to see his side. He did a little bit. But basically, like, some of what Ben Shapiro was saying, he's like, it's personal responsibility.
Right.
But how do we instill that? And that's what Joe kept going back to. Like, okay, people learn by the tribe and the community they're in. So how do we... It's a difficult problem. There's no, like, super clear-cut answer.
No.
But a lot of it is, man, and I've thought a lot about this with all this shit going on, and all these protests and a lot of it is just craziness. Dude, it's such a lack of personal responsibility in our culture, and the effects, I think I've said it on here before, but we're starting to see the effects of this participation trophy generation. That's what I really think.
Yeah.
Because that negates personal responsibility too. And Ben Shapiro touched on that too. He used the jump shot example. Like, if you go out and play basketball and you suck at jump shots, it doesn't do the kid any good. Like, hey, you want to make the team, you got to get better at jump shots. But you know what? Your dad sucked at jump shots. Your uncle sucked at it. Your grandpa sucked at it. Whatever, on down the line.
Yeah.
It's going to discourage the kid from trying hard and making better for himself.
Yeah.
You're not doing anybody any service by saying, hey, you know what? You're fucked no matter what.
Yeah, just continue to point this out.
You're screwed no matter what. There's no hope for you.
Yeah.
Just give up.
Yep.
That's not good for anybody, man. Like,
no.
you want to... So there's no point in, like... it goes back to personal fucking responsibility, man. I've preached that forever. It's just... take care of yourself. Like Pimentas told us, worry about yourself.
Yeah, everybody's just worried about themselves. Everybody would get better.
Exactly. It sounds so simplistic and so, like, just asshole-ish, but it's the truth, man.
Yeah.
You can worry about yourself and still look out for one another. You don't have to be just a self-contained asshole. But yeah, man, fucking quit blaming other people for your shit.
Yeah.
You got to step up, and if your life sucks, fucking try your best to fix it.
Yeah. I think the point of understanding history is to see the patterns, learn the lessons that you need to move forward from it, not to place blame.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. It's like, yes, we do need to acknowledge that these things happen. We do need to understand what's going on. But the point of it is so we can understand what we need to do different moving forward, not to place blame.
Because exactly. So, we do. Let's.
I mean, if there's like something that comes out that like, this was like some true systematic, like, that example that was in Baltimore,
redlining.
Yeah, exactly, right. Like stuff. If something comes out like that, yes, you do need to place blame. If you find people who are guilty of doing things, they need to face blame and be called out for it. But to just place blame on an entire fucking group, or just like
it doesn't correct
just people
anything.
in general, it doesn't fucking help anything.
No.
Nothing at all. And it's like, and we're not learning the lessons. We're not moving forward.
And you can't ignore that shit happened. Like, if you make a mistake, just ignoring that it happened and then moving forward, you're going to make the same mistake. You have to acknowledge the mistake.
Yeah.
And then, why was that made? And then fucking fix it.
Right.
But no, man, it's none of that.
No.
It's just...
It's making excuses.
It's
like talking to a 7-year-old and it's like, hey, don't do that. And they're like, but this is why I did it. And it's like, look, man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why you did that. Like, that behavior is not okay. Like, it's not going to lead you in a positive direction. And then whatever reason you had in your head for why you were doing it, on some level, doesn't matter. Because you have to change your actions regardless of whatever reason you had in your head for why you're acting this way. It's no different, man. It's like you realize raising kids, like, this is the problem. Like, we have a bunch of giant children running around who've never been forced to have to deal with reality and, you know, just, like I said, personal responsibility and how to deal with the world in a way that you're not just looking to place blame and make excuses for why you're acting a certain way, but to fucking find answers for how to move forward from where you're at. And yeah, like you said, this is a participation trophy. Because why would you do that if you get a trophy no matter what? Like,
exactly.
What is your motivation?
What's your incentive to work hard?
Yeah, why would you try to get better? Why would you analyze what you do, what you need to get better at, and then how to do it? Like, why would you do that?
Why?
Where's your motivation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, man. We fucking psychologically castrated our fucking generation.
Yep.
Is what we've done.
Well, that's where I see a lot of our problems coming from. Just our society as a whole, man. It's just, yeah, the people are losing their incentive. You know, and that's the big debate in, you know, Congress and shit right now. They're trying to, because that extra $600 per unemployment check is coming to an end this week.
Yeah.
And so
people are actually going to not make more money not working than they were working.
And then, you know, like the Republican side of the House is saying that, like, hey, we are incentivizing people not to return to the workforce. This is not good.
Yeah, right.
Like we have to. He's like, we agree people need help. You know, I think some of them are proposing a plan like, okay, we need to take like 70% of what you were making, blah blah blah. They're trying to put caps on it because we can't de-incentivize people to return to work.
Yeah.
But then, you know, the other side of the house is like, you know, arguing against that. It's like, fuck, dude.
You don't like. You just want to see people struggle.
Exactly.
Struggle. We can't be greedy. You're just trying to, you know. I mean, the problem is it's hypocritical because if it's on one, like those people who saying don't bail out the individual are the ones saying bail out the companies and banks.
Exactly.
And when the fucking roles are reversed, you know, like that's what happens. It's like they want to bail out the banks and they're saying no, don't do it. And, you know, the Democrats are like, you know, fucking evil Republicans doing this, and then, you know, they just it's crazy.
It's such a shit show.
It's fucking such a shit show, man. I don't know, man. I've been thinking about this. Like, I don't know where it goes.
I don't know where it goes.
I feel like we've reached a point where it's going to implode on itself.
Yep.
On some level. Like, it has to. Like, the government can't continue this isn't sustainable, the way that it's spending money. And we can't continue on this fucking road of just divisiveness and hatred towards everybody who doesn't see things exactly the way that we do. So... there's going to be a course correction, and I have faith in that, right? Like, but eventually, what is that going to look like, right? Yeah, that's not going to. Is it going to be relatively, enlightening and good, or is it going to be like really tough and people resisting what's going to have to happen? But it's not sustainable, right? If you look at, hey, like you said, those secondary and tertiary, I like that word.
It's a big
effects,
word.
man.
I like to break that out once in a while.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Makes me sound smart.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to spell it. I probably could not spell it properly.
It
would take me a couple tries.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. Anyways. There you go. Fucking.
It's a weird time, man. That's why we just need to go shut up and go practice our fucking arm bars. And
I know.
I'm looking forward to training today.
Trying to shut down. You know, that's where it gets. You know, they can't do. I got. You know, they shut the gyms back down in California.
Yep.
And
I can see that happening here again, man. Because they've already...
He's starting to hint in that direction.
Yep, it's already starting to backpedal.
Yep.
And, you know, they're starting to... You know, they put that big mandatory mask mandate everywhere. You know, statewide, our governor did.
Yep.
You know, he shut down alcohol sales after 10 p.m. There's other. It's it's like they're trying to move back to that stage one, but they don't want to just go back to it.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah. We just freaking. I actually took the signs down out of the windows, and we just keep the curtains closed, and it's like
the mandatory mask mandate.
Yeah.
Is that a count? Did they say you have to have that sign up? Is that?
No.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. Like we're just pretending we're not there.
Right.
And so like we took our signs down.
But is that a requirement that you have to have that sign up?
If I know.
I didn't know if it
I
was.
have any idea, dude. All I know is people show up there to train. I tell them to go away, and they won't go away, so I show them a few things.
It's funny so I went to one of the gun stores here in town to buy some ammo yesterday.
Yeah.
And they had a sign. They had their obligatory, mandatory mask mandate on their front door.
Yeah.
But then right underneath that, they had put their own sign that said, "But we are not enforcing this policy."
That's funny, man. I think we went into the military surplus store over there by Mesa Fitness, Tom's or whatever.
Is there one over there now?
Oh yeah.
Is there?
Oh yeah.
Kind of over by Walmart and that.
It's do you know where Monumental Beer Works is?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Oh yeah,
right across
yeah.
from it.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. That place, I'll guarantee you, is a mask-free zone.
Oh yeah.
That dude's a character, man.
Is he?
Oh, I love places like that.
Total stereotypical survivalist type
dude,
fucking
he's just
dude.
an old fucking military surplus store owner.
Yep.
I
can picture that perfectly.
Survivalist, probably ex-military, just, does not
I was hoping, is he
trust
wearing,
the government.
okay, in my head, is he wearing a leather vest that has like a Vietnam vet patch on there?
No. He's just got camo, pants and
he does have camo on though.
Oh yeah. And I'm sure there's a
I'd be
gun or two
disappointed.
behind the desk.
Oh, guaranteed.
Fucking A.
Oh, he's got a boot knife.
Yeah.
He's got a couple guns on him. He's got one behind the desk.
He's got a Confederate flag up that says "Not coming down." Like it's got a fucking it's a flag with that on it, as part of the banner material.
Interesting.
So yeah, those fellas are out there still.
Oh yeah, they're out there.
They're not. Yeah. Anyways, I love that shit. Those guys fucking crack me up, and I'm glad they're out there. We need those motherfuckers. They're like, I don't care what the government says. I'm gonna do my thing. Fuck you, and that's it. And so it's yeah. So, anyways, old Tom.
Speaking of that, have you made any more progress on your gun purchase? So we can go shoot some trap?
No. I got it now. I got to put it on my list.
Gotcha.
It's still in the back of my head there. I just gotta. We had it pulled up. I was gonna order it. We found it, I think, at Sportsman's. And we're just gonna order it.
That's the move. Just order it, have it, and do the in-store pickup.
Yeah.
And you still gotta obviously show up and do your background check and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But at least you don't have to go through the rigmarole of them trying to sell you shit.
Yeah.
Things you don't need. Just say, hey, I'm here to pick up an order for such and such.
Yeah.
Here's my license.
Yeah. No, gotta get that.
Need to, so we can go do some more shooting.
I know, man. I want to go shoot some more. That was fun.
I had my big first trap shooting competition last weekend.
Yeah, your tournament, right?
Yeah.
How'd that work?
So we went on Saturday. It was a 2-day thing. We only did Saturday. And Saturday, the easiest way to explain this in jiu-jitsu terms was Saturday was kind of like a fight to win tournament. And so it's more like loose, fun, good competition. And then Sunday was like the IBJJF. On Sunday was a ATA, which is the Amateur Trap Shooting of America or some shit. Amateur Trap Shooting Association registered event. You have to be part of their club. You got to buy your yearly membership, and they register all your targets. And, it's a little more serious.
Yeah.
So we didn't opt for that one yet, just because I got to get a little bit better. So it was good. So yeah, you shoot 100 times. What you do is you shoot from one station, one trap house, you shoot 25 times from your 16-yard line.
Yeah.
Then you go to a different trap house, you shoot 25 times from that 16-yard line. And then you move back and you shoot from your handicap. My handicap's at the 20-yard line because I fucking suck. That's the lowest handicap you can go. 16-yard line's the very first one, and your next handicap back is 20.
Oh.
And how they figure your handicap, they take your average plus 2. So, if you're the furthest one back is 27-yard line. So if you're averaging 25 birds a round, which if that's your average, you're pretty fucking, you're good.
You're pretty good.
You're pretty fucking good. You'll shoot at 27. So I did. My goal going in is I wanted to get 100 or 80 out of 100.
Yeah.
Which I would have been really happy with that. I ended up with 71. I kind of choked a couple times. I got in my head and choked a couple times.
Yeah.
But not for my first time out, man.
Good, man.
I've only been shooting organized trap since May, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So I got a lot of learning to do. Every time I go out, I feel like I make a little bit of progress. Like,
good.
I got an instructional book at home I've been reading.
Nice.
You know, and I've taken some lessons.
Where'd you get the book? Look it up online?
eBay.
Or
Yeah. I did some research on like some forum,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then a lot of people suggest it's an older book. I mean, I think this thing was put out in probably like the 70s or 80s or some shit. It's a little bit older, you can tell. But there's a lot of suggestions. Like, this is a good book. There's not a lot of fluff. It's just kind of to the point.
Yeah.
And so I found a used copy on eBay for like, $10 or some shit. So it's been helpful, man. There's been, some good, tips in there.
Yeah.
It's been really beneficial too, because I'm learning to be a better learner, through all my years of jiu-jitsu, for being friends with you. I've learned to be a better learner just, watching and listening to you and shit. Because you got this annoyingly good habit of like learning shit, And so I've picked out some things for there. So that's helped with this,
Nice.
Going into this hobby.
Yeah.
So it's fun though, man. I'm looking forward to the next, it's fun to go out and practice, but there's something about, it means a little more something when you say we're competing.
Yeah.
There's a little more.
Just that little extra psychological thing.
It makes it even a little more fun.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. Today means something. Let's go hit them.
Yeah.
And then I had league on Tuesday night. I didn't do too bad. Getting my average, I shot 20 and 20. On league nights, you only shoot 2 rounds. You shoot from your 16-yard line and then your handicap.
Yeah.
And your whole team has the same handicap. And so I got 20 and 20 again. So I'm fairly consistent. I'm in that 20 ballpark.
Nice, man. That's the first step towards moving to the next average and higher. Yeah. I would think.
I would say fuck it.
Yeah.
See, logically, that makes sense.
No, man, that's sweet. That's
it's fun,
cool.
Though. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And old Angela won her division.
Yeah, she was the only one in the women's division, so she won some weird little sign and some.
I saw the sign said whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, except for bears.
Except for bears.
The bears will kill you.
Bears will kill you. It's hilarious.
What is that?
I don't know. It's very fitting for the strap club though. If you had to say a gift they would give out, because they didn't give out trophy, they gave out these awards.
Yeah.
And it's oh, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense that they would give out a gift like this.
For sure.
Yeah. And then some sort of decorative knife. It's some sort of, it's got a stand and this knife, and it's kind of got bears. It's a whole bear theme too. Wow. I don't know. Okay. So whoever was buying the awards for this event apparently liked bears.
Bears, the theme for the awards. Okay.
I didn't see any of the other awards, so.
Right.
But.
Sweet, man. Sounds like a fun experience.
It was a good experience.
Yeah, I gotta get on I'll put it on my Evernote right now. So.
Buy gun.
Exactly.
That's gonna put you in some sort of database.
Yes, anything that gets on my list will eventually get done, unless I just erase it. I've had a few things that just stood on there for so long, and I'm like, you know what? I think this is a sign. Knowing when to quit is a skill as well. So, but I'm not gonna quit on that. I gotta get a gun.
I hope you don't.
Nah.
We'll have fun. Go out shooting.
That'll happen.
And they got the new sporting clays course is open in DeBeck.
Okay.
So we'll have to go out and do that. That's a golf course with a shotgun.
Really?
Yeah, man. So you go out with your gun and a bunch of ammo, and you can. The first time we go out there, I want to rent a side-by-side. You can rent a side-by-side for $25 for the day. Yeah. So I don't know, because you got to carry a fair amount of ammo with you, and I don't know how much walking would be involved. So the first time out, let's rent a side-by-side, and you just drive from station to station. And I think you just shoot a couple times at each station. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you can probably shoot as much money as you're willing to spend. Right. Because it's not free to send the targets out there. But yeah, and so you got different stations. Some of the targets go shooting across the ground like a rabbit. Some of them go shooting up in the air like a bird. So it really, sporting clays is meant to really mimic hunting. Huh. So that looks fun. It's supposed to be a really nice course out there. Yeah. It's brand new, so. Interesting. We'll have to go try that. That's a little different than trap shooting. Yeah. So. Huh. Wonder if that's that fucking weed money being put to use. I don't think so because
is it a private thing or is it?
Yeah, it's a private thing.
Okay,
I don't know who owns it. And the weed culture and the shotgun culture don't have a lot of overlap.
Well, if it's like a city thing or a county thing, that's why. If it's not, if it's a private thing, then that's a different thing. But I mean, I just know DeBeck's. They got a nice new school and.
Do they now? That's weed money.
No, No, they got some nice stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if this place. They might have had some government grants involved because I know up at the trap club I'm a part of here in Grand Junction, the county has donated. There's different signs out and about like, hey, the county donated this trap house so they.
Sure, they got some connections.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Fred, if I can get your vote, we'll get you a new trap house.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably a few connections.
Well, it behooves the community for the local government to provide good activities for their citizens. Kind of like that lazy river.
Yeah.
So it's
the Los Colonias Park there,
which is weird now. It's all dammed up.
So is even like the further down the little swimming hole down there, like
it's not completely dried up. The furthest at the furthest end of it, to where it kind of pools up before it reconnects to the river. Yeah. That's about the only spot that's deep enough for Frank to swim. Yeah. The rest of it is pretty shallow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. It's weird, dude. It's narrow and real shallow.
Dang.
So I'm not sure if they did this time of year because the river sort of slows down this time of year. Getting towards the end of summer. So I don't know if it's kind of required that they have to dam up that lazy river so the water stays in the main part of the river. Some sort of.
Yeah, I think it's got more to do like with the safety thing because, like I said, like when we did it, it was getting really low, and there were sections that we were barely scooting through.
Yeah, and so naturally it would be low anyways.
Oh yeah,
and so they're just like, okay, this isn't.
Yeah, like there's probably areas where they had like it was probably like almost impossible to get through on a tube.
Yeah, you can't float it right now. There's no.
Yeah. So they probably because they have to stop people. Because people will try to do it.
I'm sure there's probably idiots down there today trying to float on that fucking thing.
Maybe.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, whatever. People are funny. So.
No, people are stupid.
Wow.
We'll just say that.
Some people are stupid.
Yeah, a lot of people are stupid.
A lot of people are stupid. They could be better. They just need to be told. I've been thinking about that, man. Like, that's a problem. Everybody's like, oh, we need relatable fucking heroes. And it's like, no, man, you need fucking people to inspire you to better things. Like, Jocko is not relatable. I don't relate to that motherfucker. Are you kidding me? Do you know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, yeah, on some level, blah, blah, blah. No. Like, that dude's inspiring.
Right.
Like, I can't relate to that dude. I'm looking at him going like, holy shit, dude's up at 4:30 every morning, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, all right, that inspires me to try to like do a little bit better with my fucking measly little life here. Mm-hmm. Whereas like if he was like me and it's like, oh, I'm just, normal dude like you and, I do just 5% better than you, man. It's like, where's the inspiration from that? And so, yeah. But those people that inspire, like those are the intimidating ones. And those are the ones that people like to tear down so like they don't feel bad about themselves and they can just be like, oh, we need everybody to be relatable. It's like, fuck no, man. I don't need relatable people. I need fucking...
Inspiring people.
Inspiring people, man. Like, yeah, Marcelo Garcia. I can't relate to that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Dude's inspiring, man. It's like, that's what you need. So that's what used to make sports great. Now sports are all politicized. I don't think I can watch it anymore.
Did I hear something like, is it the NBA that they're going to be putting like Black Lives Matter slogans on the back of their jerseys?
Oh, and they got Black Lives Matter on the court.
Are you kidding?
Yes, on both sides of the court, man, that they're going to be playing on. Man? And and they're able to put social justice messages on the back of their jersey, but they have to be approved by the league. And as some people have pointed out, like, you wouldn't be allowed to put like a pro police or like a pro Hong Kong, message. It has to be within this sphere of, the Black Lives Matter thing. So it's not even really like a true, you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, you can put a social justice message on your jersey, but
as long as it fits
within this context here. Right, yeah.
Dude, like people...
It's like, man, I can't watch that. I cannot support that fucking league anymore at this point.
No, man. Like, right now, people need some escapes from this shit, man. And sports provide that for people. You can sit down and enjoy and watch it. And now that's just inundated with it. Like, fuck, man.
And it's like one thing to have it. Like, okay, you want to talk about it. You want to have things that you do to draw attention to it. You want to kneel at the anthem, whatever it is, man. But to, like, have on the jersey and on the court. So it's just like, there's just no getting away from it. And I guess, like, if some people believe, like, that's the level it needs to be, right? Like, and that's fine. I personally disagree. I feel like this is, again, it's like the reparations thing. It's like, you know, it's at this point, Black Lives Matter. It's, you know, it's like Ben Shapiro said. I mean, he put it so eloquently. It's like, what do you mean by that? Mm-hmm. Now, do you mean just like, yes, like Black Lives Matter and you know, and that's it? Like, yes, I agree with that. But if you start saying, well, no, like Black Lives Matter, the organization or the political movement or whatever that is, and it's like, man, that's different. Like, there's things that they are advocating that are not, I don't agree with. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, it gets so mucked up, yeah. Right? And it's just, it's ridiculous. And, man, I saw this thing. This is funny, man. This is, like, probably the most political fucking episode we've done in a while. But, man, I saw this article. It was by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Mm-hmm. And he wrote an article for The Guardian, which is like a British, you know, UK paper or you know, news source, whatever. And, or maybe, I don't know where The Guardian's from. Maybe it's Australia. I forget.
Whatever.
Not ours. Right. So, his thing was like, what do we do with racist owners, you know, in sports? And of course, like, Dan Snyder's the big thing, because they're changing the fucking Redskins name.
Yep.
And right now they're just going to be the Washington football team. Like, until they come up with a new name, mm-hmm. That's what they're going to be. And they're just going to put people's numbers. And you know this is the thing, man. This is what's fucking maddening to me about this. And again, like, I have, you know, a little bit of perspective from the Native American side. And it's like, you have, the name Redskins was bad. Mm-hmm. That was a bad thing. That was offensive, and that was bad. But using some sort of like Indian or Native American related name and logo helps keep attention on the fact, like, that Native Americans are part of the history of the country, and they're still here. And it's so easy to forget about them in the first place. And now this move to, like, try to scrub any reference,
any sort of Native American name,
like the Cleveland Indians, right, the Atlanta Braves, the Kansas City Chiefs, like.
And dude, to me, there's nothing wrong with those names.
Nothing wrong with those. There's a totally different thing between Redskin and Chief, right, or Brave, or, you know, like, totally different, man, totally different. And so, like, you know, Washington and you know, I don't blame them, but on some level, I can see a little bit of vindictiveness of like, okay, fine, motherfuckers, we're going to get as far away from any Native American reference and name as we possibly can, so that there is no association between us and you guys anymore. And is that good? Like, ultimately, is that going to be good for the Native American population and just, like, you know, our understanding and thoughts of, like, the history and stuff of this country? I'd say no. Mm-hmm. I'd say no. That's not good. Like, yes, we need to be respectful, and there's a certain way to do it. There's a respectful way to do it, and Washington Redskins was not the way to do that. But to, like, point to this one racist example and then say we got to fucking scrub everything is like, man, that's not good. We're going to cause cultural damage, actually, with this insane fucking march towards anti-whatever. And it's fucking, yeah. But anyway, so Kareem's got and you know, Dan Snyder's like the centerpiece of this thing. But I guess there was like this WNBA co-owner or something, and she said something about, like, yeah, basically like what we've been saying, like, Black Lives Matter, yeah, but it's more than that. There's a political organization, and they stand for this, and they stand for this, and they stand for this. And, like, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is, like, basically like, you know, doesn't she know that it's not a political organization, that it's a, you know, an association of groups under this banner? And it's like, no. There is a political organization, Black Lives Matter, and they have a manifesto. And one of the things in it is about, like, like abolishing or dissembling whatever, like the nuclear family. And that was one of the things that like this lady mentioned, like, you know, that it specifically, she was mentioning some specific things that she disagreed with in the manifesto or whatever from the Black Lives Matter political movement. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sitting here either through ignorance or like purposeful, just willful, you know, like, well, I guess the ends justify the means because I believe like she's drawing attention away. And so I got to draw it back. And so I got to attack her and basically say, you know, and he even said, like, you know, where does she get these things? The nuclear family. Where would she say these things? She needs to be removed as an owner. And it's like, but no, like that's fucking. I was like, are you kidding me? This is in a relatively large news source. Like, how is that not like fact checked? You know what I mean? Like, and hey, Kareem, you know what? There actually is an organization, and they actually did say they want to abolish the nuclear family. So, you know, we can't run this because this is a fucking lie. But it's like, no, if it fit in with some agenda thing, and it was like, yeah, I don't even know how I got on, just the NBA, yeah, and where they're going with this. And it's like, they're just, it's a fucking weird witch hunt, and they're just willing to bend reality and, you know, not acknowledge what's actually going on some level in this like mad dash to try to, you know, capitalize on this momentum. And man, they're fucking doing some damage in the process.
Yeah, there's a lot of casualties of war, you know, basically like innocent civilian casualties, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it is a witch hunt.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just keep moving. They just keep moving the goalpost. They don't even know quite who they're hunting for or why. They just got this momentum and this anger.
Yeah.
And they're just out there swinging.
It's like, man, if you do anything that's not, you know, we got to see, did you kneel for the anthem or did you not? And like, it's like, dude, sports used to be, I don't know, like, you know, there are moments in sports where athletes use their platform to draw attention to a political movement. And I do believe that those moments are important.
Right.
But I think that there's a difference between that and like the league adopting an official stance towards a movement and taking measures for that movement to be like in the face of fans at all times. And so you either have to accept it, and if you don't, then it's like you're racist and you're part of the problem. And it's like, man, that's such a...
It's taking it too far.
That's a shitty thing to do to people.
It is, man.
It is.
It really is. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's because it's turning sports into something. Sports should be bringing us together.
Yeah.
I mean, there's little rivalries in the sport, but that's healthy.
Right.
Like, oh, you know, I'm a fan of this team, you're a fan of this team, whatever, you know. But, dude, sports bring us together as a country. And then now with this happening, that's going to drive us further apart.
Yeah. If you're gonna turn sports into just an everyday, in-your-face political battlefield,
it's going to turn so many people off.
You guys are fucking Fox News now. You guys are CNN and Fox News at this point.
Yep.
You've got your agenda. You're shoving it down people's throats, and if they disagree, then they got to change the channel. That's basically the stance that you're taking. And it's like, what the fuck, man? We need something better than that. So
it's frustrating, man.
It's frustrating.
It's really, I have some days where I think a lot about all this shit and I get really frustrated, and some days I can just tune it out and think about just whatever, my life and different things. But man, we've been good about not talking about this shit, but dude, it's frustrating. And sometimes you can't avoid it. Yeah. If you are paying attention to anything, like, it just gets rammed down your throat. Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, there's no like, hey, this is what we're working towards, or this is where, you know, the goalpost is. And with any of it, man, I mean, even got them, like, even if we get a fucking vaccine for COVID, they're like, oh, if it's not effective enough, then blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's such a shitty time to own a business. I can't even imagine, like, what would be your motivation to try to open a business or start any sort of business in any point in the near future. Yep. It's like, this is crazy, man. It's the government can just come and shut you down. People can come and fucking burn your shit down and they won't do anything about it. It's like, what the fuck is going on, man? It's totally backwards. So it's like, they're supposed to be not getting in our way and protecting us from, you know, my right to life, liberty, and happiness, which includes not destroying my fucking property, man. Like, that's just a basic function of the government, I thought. So apparently not. That's when, so
And we got fucking Biden coming into office. I'm still sticking with my
I think
prediction.
Kanye West might win.
You think Kanye?
Dude, it would not surprise me.
Man,
is he legitimately
so.
running? Is he?
Dude, no one knows. He's being like Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
You can never tell what that fucking dude's doing, man. He's like
so mentally imbalanced.
Doing it just enough to make you think, like, is he really coming in? But I think he's doing the Conor McGregor. He's got the attention. Like, he wants the attention for being a presidential candidate. He doesn't actually want to be a presidential candidate. And it's like, yeah, at some level, it's kind of what you get the feeling from old Conor, man. It's like he likes the attention of being that guy, but it's hard to be that guy, man. It's really tough for him to be that guy anymore. He just, dude, fucking time passes. Mm-hmm. People catch up. Like, especially in MMA, man, it's hard. Like Anderson Silva, like, he's one of the few people that, like, he stayed, like, so fucking good for so long. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's why he's got the record for the most title defense. I guess Mighty Mouse Johnson does. Which is interesting. No one ever really thinks about that dude.
Because it's the smaller weight classes just don't get the love.
Yeah, and that sucks because they were good and they were fucking entertaining.
So technical.
Yeah, and like little explosive dudes like was it John Dobbs? Yeah. Another one of those little guys, and they're just like wow, like they explode like a fucking jumping spider.
Yep.
It's like whoa, they just didn't get the push or the play. But so I don't mean to discount him when I'm talking about it, but yeah, at those higher weight classes, it's so fucking hard to have consistent, sustained success for any period of time, and that's what makes like Anderson so unique, man. That dude is such a fucking weirdo. Like it's like, and that's probably why I was able to stay on top. It's like just his mindset.
Yeah, it took people a while to figure him out.
Oh yeah.
And then it's funny, just like the whole. I forget the guy's name, but the 4-minute mile thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's so unattainable, so beating him was so unattainable. When then once somebody beat him or landed a couple good shots on him, they're like, oh. Yeah. Then it just changes the mindset of all the people chasing him. Like, oh, he can be hit. He can be beaten. Yeah. So now he doesn't seem unattainable and just knocking me out. And now I have hope. Dude, just like we talked about before. Man. Yeah. It's like, oh, there is hope. So now I can try harder and be successful. Yeah. When you see it, when he just seems magical and he's just knocking everybody the fuck out. Yeah. Like, oh.
And every story is like every opponent he's faced has been knocked out. It's a little different. And man, you can do it, buddy.
You can do it.
Last guy got him. So, yeah. But, shoot.
Anyway, sorry for all the politics, everybody.
Yeah. Fuck, man. It's part of the whatever. It's our podcast. Had to get some of it off our chest. So, yeah, got a few more minutes here. Go get something to eat. Trying to see if I had anything on.
Looking forward to training today.
Yeah, I'm gonna be working some of my turtle guard.
Stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been it's one of those interesting positions, man. It takes a while to really figure out, but I'm starting to figure it out, and turtle is better than side control. I mean, would you agree?
It's better than getting smashed in side control. Yeah. You definitely have some more options.
Yeah. I mean, trying to get out of side control is really hard.
And when someone doesn't want to let you out, if they're content just to cross-face and smash you
there.
They're
just really good, man. Yeah, like someone who's got someone who's better than you.
Or even someone who's like, I'll run into it. Neither one of us is very big guys, but I'll let some 180-pound fucking blue belt get on side control. Yeah. And if he's not real willing to move, he can hold me there for a while.
It's hard, man.
If he's strong and he's got decent base, like it's a struggle.
So
so turtle is definitely.
I mean, that's what I found. Like my getting out of side control at a certain point, it's easier for me to get to turtle and then try to either recover guard or get a roll. Which thanks to Trey and his fucking crucifix, man, I'm pretty good at that roll, man. Like I know to get my hips down, and I'm basically running away from Trey, chasing my fucking arm, and it trains you real good for that roll. But the odds of me getting that are way better than like recovering guard or whatever from side control. In some instances. So yeah, been having some luck with that. And it's just like, man, sometimes it's just like, fuck, I just need to get to my knees, get the turtle, and start working from there. But it's tough because when you're white belt or blue belt and you don't know what the fuck's going on there, it's easy to go there and just hang out. and not do anything.
Yeah, it's not a hangout position.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing, man. It's better than getting smashed. So everyone's telling you, like, dude, don't hang out there. And you're sitting here like, dude, whatever. This ain't.
And then usually to get there, if you're coming from a bottom side control, so you had to exert yourself.
Yes.
So you get there and then, okay, I can relax for a second.
Yeah,
I can breathe, catch your breath.
Yeah. So it's a double-edged sword, and then you train yourself. Okay, don't go there, but you got to go there to get used to it, to get orientated, because it's a different orientation and knowing. Okay, what if they're here? Where do I go? If they're here, where do I go? And it's you got to figure that out. It doesn't come naturally, and so. And it's been something I've been working on. I was watching some of that Eduardo
Tellez, Turtle Guard
revisited stuff before he got over here, just looking at some of the things I wanted to drill. But so I'm looking forward to drilling too. Finally got something to drill instead of walking in there. We were such a bad habit, man, because we didn't do it for so long.
Even today, I'm going in. It's like, man, I hope we just rolled today.
I think 2-3 rounds of drilling.
It's perfect.
Perfect,
man.
Yeah,
I had 3 rounds each.
Yep.
So that's a half hour.
Yep.
Roughly.
Yep. Right at that point, I'm starting to get a little itchy.
Boom, and then start training.
Start training.
I think for me, that's good.
Yes. Yeah.
That's about spot on.
The 5-6 rounds was just that's what we were mentally.
I mean, we've done it, and we can do it.
There's value to it, man.
There is, but I like that.
Yep.
Hopefully, we stick with that.
I think so.
I'm gonna keep pushing for it.
He's never wanted the drill class, man. He's always wanted.
He just comes in and talks shit.
Yeah. So he's all for less drill. I mean, I think. Over the years, he's come around. Like, he sees the value of it.
For students and stuff.
Yeah, he sees there's enough white belts in there, and him and Nadia work with people. So he sees the value in it. But, it is in his heart of hearts, man. He just wants to fucking come in there and roll. Like, that's why he shows up, is to smash people and make them feel bad about their jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. So, at least that's what he does to me.
That's what he does to me. That's what he does to me.
Yeah, man. Well, sweet. I guess let's leave it on that note. We'll leave it on a fucking jiu-jitsu note.
Yeah, ranted for over an hour, and 55 minutes of that was political nonsense from
2 dudes who don't even know what the fuck's going on.
Zero idea what the fuck's going on.
It's
just
right.
Our uneducated opinions.
From some, in a weird way though, it makes me feel better to talk about it. Just to just vocalize some of the thoughts, and then hear your thoughts on it. Is it gonna matter? Are we gonna be able to change things in the grand scheme of things? Most likely not. But it still feels better,
cathartic.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we need, man. Whatever kind of need things to make us feel good and connected, rather than fucking angry and disconnected. So
that's how I live a lot of my life, is angry and disconnected.
Disconnected.
That is the title of this week's episode right here.
There you go, man.
Angry and disconnected, buddy.
All right,
cool.
So we'll leave it at that.
All right, see ya.
Okay, see ya.
Thank you for listening to the Grumpy Guy BJJ Podcast.
Thank you all for listening. You can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to subscribe and leave us a review. It really does help and will allow us to keep putting out episodes. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, hit us up at grumpyguybjj@gmail.com. Also, go to our website, grumpyguybjj.com, and get signed up for podcast updates and get our free BJJ Improvement Starter Kit. That's it for now, so get on the mat, train hard, and talk to you all next week.
Down clown with a permanent friend, a hermit now, boom. Doggy stool, foggy, cool, got a froggy outside Molly dude. Melancholy Daisy Duke, hanging by the lace of their shoes. No trace of the tools, shaped into face, fuck the rules. Snooze, you lose. One eye always open, in times two, no clue. But soon a brief monsoon might give you a view to choose. Stay tuned, include, won't conclude. To the end is near, beware there's consequences for what you do. To me, demon, a devil of many levels, I keep on feeding. For several of them rebels, me, myself, and I.